friends in the movie. Two 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 friends in the movie. With Matt and Sixto. With Sixto and Matt. With Matt and Sixto. With Sixto and Matt. With Matt and Sixto. Matt and Sixto. Matt and Sixto. Two friends in the movie. Two friends in the movie. Two friends in the movie.
All right, welcome back to the Matt and Sixto Two Friends and a Movie podcast. We're back after a small hiatus.
Small.
But we're back to talk movies. And we're staying right with the trends and up to date, and we're going to talk about Scarface.
Yeah, son. Well, let's say this.
Let's say it.
Scarface, the 1982 remake? 83 remake, is being remade now. So it is current.
So that's why we're talking about it.
That's what we're talking about it. So we're right. We are on the pulse.
We are.
We have our fingers on the pulse of a dead horse.
We do. Because it's one thing America needs is more remakes.
Yes. Well, I find that interesting that while there are people doing not necessarily good movies but original ideas, not necessarily good, there is a bigger market for recurring repackaging the same shit.
Yeah, it's easy to sell.
Right. Well,
you know it already. Go watch it again.
Right. Correct. So I was gonna say, give it a different flavor, like Wonder Woman.
Make him Canadian instead of Cuban.
Yeah. Well, he's Mexican now instead of Cuban, but give it a different flavor like Wonder Woman. It's a superhero movie like all the superhero movies, but it's about a woman kicking ass. So it's a different flavor.
I haven't seen Wonder Woman yet, so I think the flavor is the same.
You're so up and up in the movie business. That's why we have this podcast. Because we're so current.
We're so current. All right, let's start with Scarface.
Not the 1930, not the original.
The Scarface we all know and love with Al Pacino.
The remake, the first remake. And let's go with how fucking awesome this movie is.
The movie is pretty awesome.
I'm watching it. I'm finding it. The acting is so clunky sometimes. I'm finding the lines are kind of like, come on, man, really? Nobody would say that. And then I'm finding the music is, and then what starts happening is you start being consumed by this universe, and you don't realize it at the beginning because when you start watching, you kind of judging it like, come on, man, what the fuck? And then 20 minutes in, you're like, what? Well, not really, because everybody's seen this movie 400 times. But what you get involved in this massive coolness of the movie that works so fucking perfectly.
It does work well. There are a lot of giant plot holes and inconsistencies, but still the movie works good. Like, we'll start off near the beginning of the movie when he's meeting those guys in that hotel room for the first time, and he's trying to get his first taste of the kilos. And there's that big shootout, and he follows the guy into the streets, and he shoots him right in the middle of the street, right in broad daylight, around all those people, and you don't see one uniformed cop the entire movie.
Well, let's just say Miami at the time. You know how it is. Snitches get stitches. Nobody talks, dude. You don't snitch because you're afraid that he's gonna come by and kill you.
There was 400 people on the sidewalks.
Old people.
They were young.
No, they were just old people that were like we careful with the old people. When they get out of the car with the machine guns, the only thing Manolo says is, "Mira lo viejito." Because you don't speak Spanish.
I don't speak Spanish.
Is watch the old people. And when they come out, it's interesting that the way they shot the scene only looks that way towards the hotel. So you don't see the side that's going towards the beach where all the young people are. But it's only old people looking at them and kind of running around being like, what the fuck? But I just feel that that's realistic enough that nobody will say nothing because...
I guess at the time, but nowadays that wouldn't fly.
Well, nowadays somebody would take a phone out and shoot it. Yeah. Put it in Rockstar. And everybody would be like, oh shit, who is that?
And I felt like it took there's a lot of long scenes there, and a lot of jumps. Like he went from with Frank's woman. He went from like she wouldn't even kiss him, and then the next scene, oh look, they're getting married.
Yeah, right.
Like they skipped all that.
Well, because I think that's a tool. Frank's. We were just talking about that before we started recording. I was kind of wondering, like, do you really need this scene? Like, do you need not even the scene, but do you even need her? But yeah, you do, because he shows you that he has, he's trying to be a human being, to some degree. He's trying to have a family. He's trying to have a wife. But
he becomes less human as the movie goes on.
Yeah, man. The more power he gets, the less he connects with humanity itself. What's that?
First you get the drugs, then you get the women, then you get the power.
And then power fucking destroys you, man.
Yeah, he got fucked up.
He just started believing too much in, I don't know. I mean, he's the guy that he kills. I don't know, kill this piece of shit. What's his name? Frank was the only guy that was like, yo, stay low, you do some money, you'll be okay. This is not to become a superstar, this is just to make some money, and then you'll be alright, man. And he didn't but on the other part, Frank fucked up too, because Frank trying to kill everybody, just trying to keep power by being. There's no way that you either a gangster or you're not.
Yeah, well, Frank tried to kill him in the club.
Right.
And then after that, you knew Frank was gonna die.
Yeah, right. But there's no half measures like in Breaking Bad. Like you're either gonna be a gangster or you're not. Like, what's the point of you being a gangster just to scare somebody? And then when somebody doesn't get scared, you're gonna be like, "Well, come on, man."
Why you get mad at me for? It's Tony, man. He was the ultimate anti-hero, I guess. Because like you don't want to root for him, but you kind of root for him at the end. You're like, when he's killing all those people, you're like, come on, Tony, just a couple more.
You can make it, bro. Come on. Take that M16 and just turn it around and you'll be alright. There is a lot about this movie that interestingly still makes sense. There's a lot of this movie that still makes sense in that we really haven't changed as a society a lot.
And the drug problem is just as good as the drug problem now.
And things are still the same way as they have been, not only since the original Scarface, since the Hooch era, since alcohol. It's just what people want, what they can have. And it's interesting because there's a part in there, there's a scene where there's a guy saying, like, if you legalize drugs, the people that believe that the problem will go away. And we're still having those conversations today.
And we still have those shows.
Yeah, it's just really
Breaking
nuts.
Bad, The Wire.
The Wire, yeah. It's really interesting that nothing has fucking changed. And speaking of The Wire, for those of you that have not seen it, skip this part for the next 2 minutes.
I only seen up to season 2, so don't talk after season 2.
Shit. Okay, so forget it.
Come back. I'll have to walk out of the room for a bit.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say how it's and I won't spoil it then. Good. But what I was gonna say about The Wire is that it teaches you that nothing is as simple as wanting things to be done right or be gone or black and white. Like nothing is ever simple. That show really shows you a lot of what the gray of the problem is.
And the egos. If there was no egos, if Tony Montana was just like this regular guy,
right,
who was fine just making millions of dollars,
right,
he'd be alive right now making millions of dollars.
Right.
But he had to be the superstar. He had to be in charge. He had to get that girl that he couldn't get. He had to control every aspect of the business. You couldn't disagree with him. Kind of sounds like a place I know. If you disagree with the powerful people,
right,
you either kill them or you get killed.
And it's very fun to watch a movie that it's old.
It is old.
It's on the verge of being cheesy.
I was 1. Sixto was 27.
I was not 27, but he's on the verge of being cheesy. Like he's right on the curve. One more step and he becomes cheesy, and it's good because it makes perfect sense. It's a movie that's ought to be watchable today. I don't know how a remake is going to do, but being that the themes haven't changed, there's no reason why you couldn't make Scarface today.
No, because Scarface could happen today in some scale. But it's also gonna be hard because they've made the lines so cheesy.
Yeah.
Like when he's walking out of the restaurant, he's like, "I'm the bad guy." Like Razor Ramon has totally made the line irrelevant. Like no one's afraid of that now.
Yeah, right.
And how many cartoons and stupid movies have used "Say hello to my little friend"?
Yeah,
like,
right.
It's been a million things.
Yeah, but you stay away from that shit then, and you make it original. Well, I mean, and the original movie also was very different. I mean, I don't remember much about the original Scarface.
I had never seen it,
but I don't believe there are any lines that he picked up from the original one. I know he picked up the basic idea. He's a guy that came from nothing, makes a lot of money doing illegal shit, and unlike the real story that is based on, gets killed at the end. But it happened. You can make it now, and I can guarantee you right now, in 50 years, you can make another Scarface without a problem.
Not even 50 years. You could make it in 20 years.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, right. I mean, if this one is good, then you could wait 30.
It could be like Spider-Man, where they make a new one every couple of years.
Right, because it's never going to fucking change. It's never...
just like Spider-Man.
Just like Spider-Man. It's just... there's always going to be a teenager that's been bitten by a spider that flies around.
Yeah, that just happens all the time. And with drug movies, because drug is so relevant and so such a problem that you could literally do it anywhere. You could make it any city... any country, any ethnicity,
yeah.
Well, anything. It could be any person. Absolutely. It could be me. It could be you.
Well, it can't be you.
It could be me.
No, you can't be
I could be the kingpin of Long Island.
You can't.
Think about all the money on Long Island. I could sell heroin to all those 20-year-olds.
The kingpin of Long Island.
Kingpin.
I hope there's not a real kingpin of Long Island that's listening to this and being like, who is this guy?
I hope he is, because I'm coming for you.
Yeah, you're going to crazy town now.
Listen, I'm taking control.
Well, I do want to see. It does make sense that they made a Mexican now, because that is the new, like the Mariel exchange doesn't have any importance anymore. So making it a Mexican dude.
And I feel like it hits with the current theme that Donald Trump has.
Yeah, man. I wonder how much of that is going to make it into that new remake.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It really depends. I would hope it'd stay mostly out of it, because then it really dates it and makes it hard. Like in 10 years, it's going to be hard to make it, as relevant. But you can watch this movie now. It was made, 35 years ago.
Right.
If they do a lot of current topics, it might be hard to.
But I mean, surprisingly enough, that movie had a lot of current topics at the time. If you watch like Cocaine Cowboys or any of those shows, you realize that a lot of the shit really has to do with shit that was happening in the moment. And Brian De Palma, is it Brian De Palma? Yeah, right.
Who?
That made that movie, Brian De Palma?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. I was looking up the remake. I wanted to see who was who was going to star in the remake.
Diego Luna,
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Michael Mondano. I don't know any of these people.
You don't know Oscar Isaac?
Not really. Maybe if I saw him in something. I know his name.
Well, you saw him in Star Wars Episode 7.
Oh, so he was terrible.
No, he wasn't terrible. He was one of the best things about that movie.
Benicio del Toro's in it.
Benicio del Toro would not be playing Scarface.
He's playing Snatch.
There you go. Snatchity snatch. I don't even know what that means, but...
Mark Ruffalo. There's some big people in here.
Yeah, man.
Stanley Tucci.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is it Diego Luna, not Scarface?
No, Scarface is Stephen Bauer.
What? Who the fuck is that? Let me see.
I don't know. That's what it says. Scarface, son.
Oh, all right. Okay.
And how come his name is Scarface? He doesn't have a scar on his face. He has that little thing on his eyebrow, but that's about it.
It goes down to his cheek.
Does
it's
it?
like this. Yeah.
I watched a crappy version of it lately, so maybe you couldn't really see it.
Yeah, well,
It was like that's. I mean,
it's sort of a scar.
Yeah, like it's enough of a scar on your face. But if your name is Scarface, I feel like it'd be more.
He got it eating pussy. That's why.
Prominent.
That's why it's not so scary.
It's Stephen Bauer or Bayer or however you say it, is actually Cuban. That's weird.
He plays Manolo in Scarface.
He playing Scarface.
Yeah, he played Manolo in the Scarface that we watched.
Oh, look at that.
And he was actually the only Cuban in the whole movie.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
He's old as fuck, though.
He is old as fuck.
Why would he play Scarface?
He was born in 1956.
I mean, he's not old as fuck. I just picture him playing more of like a boss, maybe like a Frank character rather than.
Yeah, we're expecting a younger guy to be Scarface.
Right, to be coming up into, raising up to be the next dude.
Anyway, back to the original. So we got the new one coming out, but the old one. What do you think they should not touch about the old one?
Well, I honestly feel that it more different than that. If you're gonna remake it, don't make it anything like the old one.
Make it a new movie.
Make it entirely like its own thing. Make it about that exchange that's happening now with the Mexican drug cartels, how they're all killing each other down there, how they're all very powerful, how they'll move so much money, how they'll move so much gunpowder.
Can he be related to Tony Montana?
Well, I mean, Tony Montana can be from anywhere. Antonio Montana doesn't have to be Cuban.
No, but can he be related to the original Tony Montana?
Oh, like it's like this is the
like it's not a remake. It's just another story it's about this time and these people.
I don't think so. I think it should be modern, and I think it should be done in a way where you can bring it, because I'm sure when that one came out in '83, there were a lot of people looking at him and feeling the pressure of how it was affecting the real society, and I think that's important too. I think that if you can make it modern, make it about right now, and
you need to hold up a mirror.
Yeah,
this
man.
is you, America.
This is you.
This is you. Be ashamed. Yeah. Go on a diet.
And a drug diet.
Put down that cheeseburger. Put down that cocaine.
Stop with the heroin.
Get back on the treadmill, America. You look silly.
Coking it up. Trying to exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not exercising.
You're sweating before you walk in the door. Your heart's racing so much.
Yeah, man. You get it to the treadmill in your basement. Instead of putting on the fucking news, you just put on porno, jerk off, and go right back to bed.
Yeah,
it's bullshit.
You have to run out to your car every 2 minutes to take another line because you're feeling a little antsy. It's never gonna work.
No. I also feel that that movie is such a capsule of its time. Once again, like I was saying, that you can't make it that. You got to make it its own thing. But just like that one was a remake of one that was about prohibition.
Prohibition?
Like the original Scarface was about prohibition, and it doesn't make sense to bring anything from that movie. Once again, you bring the guy that's broke. Makes it to power.
Broke as fuck.
Yeah. First he gets the money.
The money.
Then he gets the women.
Then he gets the
he gets the power.
Then he gets the power.
And then, like in both of them, and spoilers if you've never seen it, spoilers right now, then you kill him at the end. Because that's the only things that you need. Everything else can be more modernized and more about a different kind of person.
I mean, I guess you have to kill him at the end because you need an ending. But if you're really putting a mirror up to society, like, you would make him live. Because the drug culture is never going to end.
Do you make him live? Do you make him die like the real Al Capone of syphilis in jail for not paying taxes?
Yeah.
Is that how you end that story? It's like he died of syphilis.
Wah, wah, wah.
The end.
And then you have the Mexican music come up.
That's very racist.
It's pretty racist.
Yeah, but
I wish we had a Mexican in here to talk about it, and I wouldn't feel so bad.
Well,
yeah, I'm over it. So we're gonna have a Mexican Scarface. How do you say Scarface in Mexican?
Cara cortada.
They should call him that. That's scarier than Scarface.
Cara cortada.
They're like, oh shit, not that guy. Now I'm afraid.
Not the cara guy.
Not the dabba. Shit, son.
Oh man, but this has made me think that if there is a remake that makes sense, that one does.
Yeah.
And remakes like Memento, they're just remaking Memento now.
Memento.
Why would you fucking touch that movie?
I don't know.
Why would you touch that movie or I don't know, like the Godfather. Like, don't touch the Godfather.
You can't touch the Godfather. You can't touch Goodfellas.
You can't touch Goodfellas.
Because Goodfellas is good. These movies are good because of the people who played them.
Right.
Not so much the movie.
Right. Like it's a chemistry of a lot of shit going right together. That if you move one part of, if you do it now with the same people, with the same everybody at the same, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
So it had to be those people at that time doing that. So it doesn't make sense. Don't fucking touch shit that works.
Don't touch it.
Fuckers. Stop fucking Hollywood. Fuck you, Hollywood.
Think of a new story, Hollywood.
Yeah, fucking think of a new story. Give somebody some fucking money to do something fucking original.
Yeah, like Scarface again.
Yeah. But, well, that's one that can get away. They can get away with.
Yeah, there's a couple that could get away with it. I feel like movies that were done cheesy because they had to be because of the time could be remade to look like amazing now, like the way they should have been. Back then. They just couldn't.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they remaking Highlander 2 apparently. I mean, this is on and off with the remake.
Fuck Highlander.
But I mean, as much as I love Highlander, and I do, I wouldn't mind it be remade because
I was never a big Highlander fan.
Well, you're not a fan of anything good, but Highlander wasn't necessarily good. It was just very fantastic.
It hurt my feelings.
Well, it's still the truth.
Now, I was thinking what movie I would like to see remade. And it's not that old, and I think I'm going to get some flack for saying it. But I think The Fifth Element.
I'm leaving right now. Why the fuck would you touch The Fifth Element?
Just because the costumes and the aliens are so cheesy.
No, it works. Like, it works in the level that it works in.
It does. It was great for the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you could make it the way it should have been made with the technology now.
Well, I have news for you.
What's that?
Lou Busan made The Fifth Element because he wanted to make Valerian and he couldn't.
So now he's making Valerian.
So then there you go. You made a better remake of The Fifth Element.
I'm always thinking, man. These guys know me.
You are not ahead of the curve.
I'm ahead of it.
No, you're not.
I'm ahead of it.
No, you're in the curve, crashing into the wall.
No, I'm ahead of it. Like, it could be easily remade too. Like, the characters could be interchanged. Like, Chris Pratt could be Bruce Willis right now.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart could be Chris Tucker right now.
Yeah.
Like, and it would work fine.
And who will be Lulu?
I don't know.
Lilu.
You could find some hot European girl.
She could be Lilu all over. She's still fucking hot as fuck.
I think Lulu needs to be an unknown, just a
Yeah.
and especially like a European face.
Yeah, I guess.
And I think she could do it right now. The aliens don't look cheesy, like that big blue alien in the opera who's singing at the end. Like, you could, like, obviously it's a costume. Like, it's not fooling anybody.
I don't know, but I mean, I like that about it. I like that it's cheesy. Well, I don't know, but once again, it's already being remade proper with Valerian.
Properly.
Proper.
We like to pop our peas here
you like
on the Matt and Sixto show.
It's not the Matt and Sixto. One's called Two Friends in a Movie.
It's called Two Friends in a Movie with Matt and Sixto. See, I get my name first, but you get the emphasis. Yeah. That's how it balances out.
I don't know.
But it doesn't matter because that's the way we're doing it.
Anyways, also I feel that I had a perfect movie that I think would be excellently remade. Metropolis.
Metropolis. What's Metropolis?
Metropolis is a very old book from the 30s.
But we're doing a movie remake, not a book remake.
Hold on. That was made into a movie in the 30s. That had it was obviously a silent movie.
Yeah, 1930s. We're really hitting our audience right where they know it.
But it's one of the most amazing movies. And anybody that knows movies knows fucking Metropolis.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yes, and it's an amazing piece of science fiction that broke a studio. That's how fucking expensive it got to make it, and it still looks amazing as a black and white movie that you can look at it and see the magic in it. But I think it's time to remake something like that, and nobody will ever fucking touch it. Nobody will touch it. But I think if you give it to somebody like Tim Burton.
Tim Burton?
Let Tim Burton come back from the fucking darkness that he's at.
He's hanging out with Johnny Depp out in France.
Yeah? They're hanging out? So they're going to make a movie?
No, they're making movies.
He's drinking wine?
They're making babies.
So I think you give it to the two of them, and they can remake Metropolis. And you know, there's a book, so you can write a script out of the source material, make it good. without having to worry about the original, because everybody that loves that movie is gonna still love the original.
How about a movie that was made when most people were still alive? You have any remakes for that? In the last 50 years or so.
I mentioned Highlander.
Maybe, you did mention Highlander.
How about Dune? They're remaking Dune. I'm glad for that one.
Dune?
Yeah.
What's Dune?
Frank Herbert's Dune. Where you been, man?
Not watching Dune.
Ugh. You just don't know anything.
I know lots of things. Dune is not one of them.
I even think that they could remake Blade Runner, but now they're making a sequel instead of remaking it. So, man.
Well, I think the 20-year later sequel is like remaking it.
You think so? I don't think so. It's actually a little sequel. Like it's like.
I mean, this reference is a little obscure, and not many people know it.
But I don't think that movie's gonna make any money, dude.
But the new Star Wars is kind of like just a remake of the original, even though they're saying it's a sequel, and it's not exactly the same characters, and it's not exactly it is exactly the same plot. It's a remake, but they're not calling it a remake. They're calling it a sequel, and I feel like that's the new thing in Hollywood. Like, we're not gonna call this a remake. This is his brother from another mother. So it's a different story. Who's black. He's gonna do the same exact thing the other guy did, but it's a new movie.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna knock you for saying that, because it's probably true. But that's the reason why I'm glad that somebody like Kevin Smith is doing the Jay and Silent Bob remake movie, which is basically making fun of the fact that everybody's just making remakes and reboots.
That's good. We need someone like that.
Yeah, we need somebody to fucking point a finger and be like, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Like RoboCop. How about RoboCop? They can remake. No.
Didn't they remake RoboCop and it failed miserably?
That's true. I don't think it doesn't work, because that was...
Because it was a terrible movie to begin with?
Well, it was making fun of how terrible action movies were at the time. So I think that it makes sense that it was terrible. I think that was the idea of it. It's a satire.
Can they remake Johnny 5?
No, I don't need that.
Johnny 5 alive.
I don't need that either. I don't need that. I don't need batteries not included. I don't need any of those. I think I'm good. They look very good being cheesy.
Yeah.
And fuck Johnny 5.
Fuck. What Johnny 5 was
No, come
cool,
on.
man.
Fuck Johnny 5. Come on, seriously.
He just wanted him to be.
He just wanted to be loved.
He was an individual. People didn't see him.
God, fuck that, dude.
It's torture to be yourself. You don't have to go with the crowd and all the other robots. You could be your own robot.
But you're 5. You're number 5 in a line.
Yeah, but he wanted to be number 1.
Yeah, doesn't matter. He's already fucked himself.
He needed to be number 1.
Fuck Johnny 5.
He was tired of being seen as just number 5.
I fucking hate that fucking robot. He's so stupid.
It's pretty stupid.
How about Jaws? No, you can't remake Jaws.
You can't remake Jaws.
That movie's still.
That's why they keep making sequels.
That movie's watchable as fuck, dude. Still today.
It's classic.
See, but it's funny because that's one of the ones that you're like, Scarface is watchable, but it's remakeable. But
this was not, because this is in the characters. Like, you're invested.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like you're not. That's more when like sharks are like a mystery. Like, oh shit, sharks gonna eat us. Now people are like, 10 million people get eaten by sharks.
It's like 1% of accidents in the ocean.
I'm sure everybody knows more people on cocaine than they do being eaten by sharks.
This is the truth, without a doubt.
I live on Long Island, next to a beach. I've never known anybody who's even seen a shark that wasn't like in a cage or like on display.
Yo, speaking of, did you see that video of that gigantic shark?
No.
Like the largest shark in the world? The largest great white? Holy shit, dude. It looks like a whale.
Look that up, people.
You look that shit up. Like, I'm not even kidding, dude. It's like bigger than Jaws in Jaws.
Wait, are you making a joke right now?
No, I'm not making a joke. That's the biggest shark in the fucking universe, dude. I'm gonna find it right now.
In the universe. He searched.
I searched the universe.
Mars. Mars. Mars, bitches. They ain't sharks like that on Mars.
No.
Venus. Jupiter.
No, I said the universe, not our solar system.
I don't know planets in the other solar systems.
Biggest great white shark. Look at this shit. Look, I found it right away. I just put biggest shark, and that shit came right up.
Whoa. It's like you have this search engine.
It's like I have something at my fingertips.
It's like you have a mini computer in your hands.
Look at the size of this motherfucker.
Yeah, they caught him? Fuck that. How ferocious could he been?
No, they
The greatest shark in the world is sitting on some guy's deck. I'm supposed to be afraid of this shit. These couple of fishermen has caught the dangerous shark in the world.
You're not as afraid of this biggest shark in the world as you are of cara cortada.
I'm more afraid of my drug dealer shooting me than being eaten by that giant shark. That's what I'm going with there.
You're putting that one down?
I'm putting that one down for the public to know. If you want to get my fears, shark does not make the top 10.
Oh man.
Maybe that's why I don't like Shark Week.
Well, I mean,
Shark Week 20 years ago were like, oh, cool, Shark Week. Like, for the 20th time.
Here's some sharks doing
Shark Week. Yeah.
Yeah, sharks doing the shit shark do.
Get your hat that has the teeth on it.
Come watch it. It's sharks. Fuck you, Shark Week.
How come there's not Stingray Week?
How come there's not like Viking Week? Those motherfuckers were badass.
Vikings are pretty cool.
They're badass.
They were smart too.
They were fucking smart. They were badass. Fucking take your shit, slap you in the face, pee on you, and then take your woman.
Yeah, and they were like, well, we have this island. We don't want people to come, so we're just going to name it Iceland, and people aren't going to want to come to this place. And it fucking worked. It's
full of grass.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And they were like, nah, man, you don't want to go here.
It's called Iceland.
Don't even try. It's terrible. Fucking Vikings, man.
Fucking smart motherfuckers.
Leif Erikson. Fuck Leif Erikson. Columbus.
Nah, that motherfucker.
Columbus, son.
No.
Italians. We discovered this shit, not Leif Erikson.
Columbus was not Italian.
Yeah. Italian. He was Italian.
He was Portuguese.
No, he was Italian.
He was Portuguese, raised in Italy, and then lived out of his life
Italian.
in Spain. He was Portuguese.
He was Italian. Columbus. How many Portuguese people you named Columbus?
How many Italians you know named Columbus?
I know one. Christopher.
That's the Americanization of his name.
Yeah, why are we talking about Christopher Columbus?
Because you're
talking
stupid.
about Scarface.
Well, Christopher Columbus discovered America through water, and that led to Cuba, which led to the Marielito movement, which led to Scarface being made. So when Brian De Palma was making Scarface, he went down to Colombia to figure out how the drug trade was working, and he started making interviews. And these guys came up and were like, I think you're an FBI dude. Let's just kill you real quick. And he had to like beg not to be killed, but also to explain that he was really making a movie. And they took him to meet Pablo Escobar. Dude, he met Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar.
Get the fuck out of here. That happened.
Like in Entourage.
Yeah, but except for real.
No, in Entourage they met Pablo Escobar.
No, they couldn't have met Pablo Escobar. He died in 1992.
Yeah, but who'd they meet in Entourage then?
I don't know, but he wasn't no fucking Pablo Escobar.
Anyways, Entourage. That's what we were talking about. Remaking Entourage.
No, please.
They were gonna remake Entourage. Who would be in the Entourage?
No, I don't need any more of that. Please, ever.
Mark Wahlberg would need someone new.
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark. My buddy Mark down by the beach.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, man. I think out of seeing old movies and always coming back to a lot of them as I do, Scarface has been a delight to rewatch because it was so much fucking fun.
It's a fun movie. Al Pacino plays it really well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the movie. Like without Al Pacino, you don't care about Scarface. Like none of the other characters are memorable or like, oh shit.
What about Manolo?
I think he's an extension of Scarface. Like without Scarface, you don't need that guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Scarface makes that.
I told him what you told me to tell him. I told him I work in sanitation. What? I told you to tell him you were in a sanitarium.
Close enough, man.
Fucking movie's awesome, dude.
But for the remake, Like, you gotta have that personality and that person who can control the movie.
Yeah, right. I just hope he's a fucking Latin person.
Because we've seen...
Because I think, I don't know, well, I don't know, you're right. I don't know that without Al Pacino you can have it. I was going to say, you have that guy playing this, he's Cuban, playing his psychic.
Cuban B.
Yes, Cuban B. But
Cuban B.
I don't know that he could have carried the movie, but now we have a lot of very talented Latin people that have worked in movies all this time, including Oscar Isaac, including Diego Luna, including what's his name?
Benicio del Toro.
No, well, yeah, Benicio del Toro is incredibly talented. Javier Bardem. So you have a lot of people that are actually. Well, Javier Bardem is European, so I don't know that he counts.
Yeah, he's European. He don't count.
But you have a lot of people that are Spanish speakers that can play a Spanish speaking fucking character.
Yeah.
Without having to go to a fucking Italiano butchering an accent.
No. Italiano.
He was Cuban, but he sounded mad Dominican. I never.
He sounded different, like, as the movie went on. Like, some scenes, he Al Pacino, you're American in this scene. And then, when he's saying he's the bad guy, he'll be extra Cuban.
Extra Cuban.
Oh, I am extra Cuban here. You know how it goes.
Segunda to the bad guy. It's extra too much.
Yeah. So to remake it, you have to have that guy, because there's a million movies about drugs.
Yeah.
You can't make the drugs a star. You can't make the illegal activities star. It's got to be the guy.
And you can't make Carlitos Way either. Ugh.
Carlitos Way. I never saw Carlitos Way.
Ugh. It's not bad. It's just not Scarface. That's what everybody's expecting. So
I need Scarface.
Right.
That's all drug movies. That's why The Wire works. That's why Breaking Bad works, and that's why a lot of these drug movies you don't remember don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't got that guy.
You don't have that guy. Well, who's the guy in The Wire for you so far?
The Wire, I don't know. There's a lot of guys in The Wire because there's so
ensemble.
much going on.
Yeah, it's an ensemble. You got Omar. You got Stringer.
Yeah, you got McNulty. You got a lot of guys.
McNutty.
But the drugs aren't the star.
No,
and
right.
you can't make the drug trade the star, because people have seen it and not impressed by it anymore.
Correct. So you need a guy that entertains you while he's telling you the story, and I think you're right. And I hope they're pointing the right way, man. I hope they're pointing to a guy that can pull it off.
Yeah, because the story's a good story. You get another guy to take another take to it.
Right.
You could redo it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if they have to go over the wall. Now I'm in America. Now I gotta sell these drugs.
Over the wall, like in Game of Thrones.
No,
see, I knew you watched Game of Thrones. I knew you watched it.
Fuck Game of Thrones.
You just annihilated the one person that listens to our podcast.
I wish they would stop making Game of Thrones.
Why?
I'm tired of it.
They are going to stop making Game of Thrones.
They should. And then they're going to make Fear the Game of Thrones?
Yes. And then they're going to make Game of Swords.
And then Fear the Game of Swords?
Yes. It's going to be forever.
I wish it wasn't forever. I wish it would stop.
If you would watch it, you would understand why.
I don't want to watch it. I don't care about fucking medieval times.
But it's a great restaurant.
If I want to go to medieval times, I'll just go to medieval times. I'll root for that Blue Knight. And I'll eat my chicken with my hands.
Yes.
And a Pepsi.
Which is from the medieval times.
Medieval time
Pepsi, which is made of spit and.
That's why it's so successful these days. It's been around since medieval times. They know how to make a soda.
Oh God, yeah, man. Yeah, this one's short.
This one's short. Do you have any wish lists for remakes? Movies that never ever gonna do it, but you would love to see it happen.
Right.
Do you have any?
Me?
You.
I think Highlander would be a great remake.
Highlander.
I think Dune, but these are things that are happening
right now.
What
about a comedy? Is there a comedy out there you want to see?
No, comedies work at their own level in their own place, man. You can't remake Airplane. You can't.
But could you make Ferris Bueller's Day Off again?
No.
Why not?
Because if you want to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off, go watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, but now you can make it in more modern times.
I don't want it more modern times. No, I don't. I just cameras. I hated that there was a trend for a little bit, and I hated this. Instead of making an original movie, that's why Madea works. And I'm sorry because it's true. Instead of remaking movies and making them black, remember they were doing that? They were doing The Honeymooners and they made them all black, and they did.
Oh yeah, the black versions.
Yeah, like I hated that, but instead you have somebody like, what's the guy that made the Madea guy? Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Right.
Tyler Perry.
He actually said, well, why am I making this black people version of this instead of making one that has the same themes told from a black person's perspective, and I don't have to call it black fucking David,
like Black Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I hate that shit. Instead, let's make it.
So you're saying you only like white Ghostbusters?
No, what I'm saying is you can make a story that has the same themes from a black person's perspective, and then you don't have to call it the same thing. Just have the themes and call it something else. And it's not necessarily like those themes don't have to be stolen. They all happen to us, so you can get away with it. Yeah.
Except for sharks. Sharks never happened to me.
Yeah, Jaws only happens to white people.
What about Requiem for a Dream?
No, you can't touch that. It's perfectly fine.
It is perfectly fine, but I think that's a movie you could do.
But you can't. But you don't have to.
Well, you don't have to do any movie.
Well, but if you can't,
you don't have to do Scarface.
But no, but it's a movie that is relevant and it's still relevant, so you can remake it.
But I think that's what it is. Like, it takes a movie that the young people have never seen and like shows it to them. Like, I know you're not going to watch this because you're 30 years old and you think your daddy's movies are crap. So here's a new version starring a person you know. Now watch it. And they'll be like, oh shit, this movie's awesome.
Right, but then you have to find that it's too hard of a chemistry to find. A chemistry of like something that can still be relevant, that you can tell it in a new way. And you're right, most of these movies like David Bueller's Day Off, you can remake as a teenager now with a cell phone. But why? Why call it that? Why don't you just call it Matt LaMartina's Day?
Matt LaMartina's Day.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good movie.
Yeah, man. It's just you sitting around fighting your drug dealer.
I'm like, don't shoot me. Here's this shark.
And there you go.
There you go. It's a movie. We just made a movie, people. It's coming out next year.
Next year from 20th Century Facts, yes.
So it could be in the 2019 Oscars.
As one or in the Razzies.
Best comedy. Best comedy.
Best comedy of the year.
Matt LaMartina movie.
I think you can. There are things that are very specifically made that you can't touch. Like don't ever do like a Good, Bad, and the Ugly remake. Like that's stupid. Just watch that movie. But
can't touch this.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Anyways, yeah, man. I'm sure there's I can't really think of anything more than what I've said because I really don't. I appreciate movies for what they are. So
especially ones from 1930.
Yes. So it's kind of tough to be like, hey, why don't you remake this because you could make it better? Unless it's like sci-fi.
Did you see the new Alien?
I didn't. I didn't
see it either, but I wanted to. But it didn't do. I don't think it did very well.
Well, we'll watch it. We'll
watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll watch it for next time. We're on this remake kick. We could talk about remakes. I don't know what we're gonna watch next time. Maybe Alien. Maybe something else.
Yeah.
I'll post this podcast in the next few days. If you have any comments, please comment and let us know how you feel. Let us know if you have any movies you want to see. We haven't listened to anyone's suggestions just yet.
Not yet.
But maybe one day we keep making them because one day you might just get your movie on Two Friends in the Movie with Matt and Sixto.
Yeah. It's not toe, it's toe.
It's toe. It's toe like I have 6 toes on one foot.
No, it's like Sixto, like the sixth in a line.
Like, so you're Johnny Sixto?
Wait, what?
Is that why you hate Johnny 5? Because you were number 6?
Yes.
Like, they should have made a movie about number 6.
Yes, Johnny 6, I would have loved.
Fucking Johnny 5.
Plus, listen to this.
Getting all the attention over here.
Listen to this. Johnny 5. All right, sounds cool. Johnny 6. That just sounds dangerous, dude. It sounds sexy.
Who's this guy?
Ooh, Johnny 6? Ooh.
This is going to be adventurous. So maybe we'll do Johnny 5 next time. You never know. You never know what's going to happen around here.
Anyways.
Thank you for listening.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time with two friends of the movie, Matt and Six. With Matt and
Sixto.
Six Toes.
No.
Good night, everybody.
Two friends in the movie. 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 With Matt and Sixto. With Sixto and Matt. With Matt and Sixto. With Sixto and Matt. With Matt and Sixto. Matt and Sixto. Matt and Sixto. Two friends in the movie. Two friends in the movie. Two friends in the movie.